Hi guys, right, I've just come in from a quite productive, useful shooting session. First proper one in weeks. We've had some atrocious weather. We've had snow, we've had wind, we've had rain, we've had sleet, we've had fog, and some days we've even had them all at once. It's been absolutely freezing as well. Anyway, today, it rained earlier on, but it's generally been clear, but cold, but clear enough. I thought, right, I'll get out and do some shooting. And I think it was quite a good day. I learned quite a bit as well as got quite a bit of practice in. I think I must have shot about 60, 70 arrows. So that's been quite a good session. Now, if you've watched any of my other videos before, you will have heard me say that I wanted to get back into instinctive shooting. And that's the reason why I bought this bow, to start me off on the journey back into instinctive shooting. Why instinctive shooting? Well, there's three main types of shooting. There's instinctive, there's bare bow, and there's target. Now, all three have a particular set of skills. Instinctive shooting looks the easiest, but I think it's actually the hardest and has the highest skill set of all three. Bare bow archery is quite skillful as well, and so is target archery, but the skill levels aren't as high. For instance, in bare bow archery, literally what you're doing, especially those who compete in the discipline, is they are literally lining up the point of the arrow and letting it go. They use the point of arrow as the point of aim, and they have their bow set up. The competitive bare bow shooters who shoot pure target, they might field out of target, which is pure target. At 50 meters, they literally know their bow set up so when they are full draw and they line the point of the target up, line the point of the arrow up. For instance, point of the arrow, which on this is nice and bright. When they're at full draw and they're properly anchored, they will know that that point of the arrow, if it's lined up on the center of the target, that's where it's going to go. Now, target archers do exactly the same thing, but they have the added advantage of a target system. So literally when they pull it back, anchor properly, they then line the target up. So it's essentially the same thing. Now, instinctive archers don't do that, or they'll tell you they don't do that. And a lot of instinctive archers will believe that they don't do that as well, because a lot of it is subconscious. The difference is with the bare bow archer will have to make certain adjustments for wind. The target archer will make adjustments for wind, but they'll do it on the sight. Now, the instinctive archer will make estimates of range and windage and wind direction and the velocity of their bow and everything without even realizing they're doing it. And to all intents and purposes, it looks as though they just pull it back and let it go, and it hits where they're aiming at. That's what I used to do quite well. Out to ranges of about 50 yards. I could literally just pull it back, let it go, and 99 times out of 100, I would hit what I was aiming at. Thinking about it this afternoon got me thinking about what it is the instinctive archer actually does. Because of some of the things I was trying to do this afternoon in order to hit the target. Now, the instinctive archer, when they look at the target, they will use their peripheral vision to take into account position of the arrow, position of the string in relation to position of the bow, in relation to position of the target. They'll take into account wind direction and wind speed, and they'll do all this without thinking and without realizing that they're actually doing it. And then they'll pull it back, do all this, and then let it go. They will describe it as you look at the target and you shoot the target. Essentially, that's correct, but there's a lot more goes into it. For instance, and that's the problem I've got now. Thinking about the way I used to shoot and the way I'm having to shoot now, there is no compatibility of skills. For instance, like the position I find myself in now, I have no vision in my right eye, which means that the stereoscopic depth perception, all that sort of thing, range estimation has gone. I mean, if I know a particular range, I can tell you how far it is. But I can't estimate range anymore. It's quite difficult. My peripheral vision has gone. For instance, if I look at the camera now, or where I think the camera is, there's a little blue light on the top. I look at that camera, put my hand out. I cannot see my hand. Right, I'm there. It just appears there. Disappears. Reappears. And it's the same here. Looking at that little blue light, there it is there. And on this side, there, just appears there. So I've got no peripheral vision. So I can't take in all the visual clues that I used to do. Like for instance, like when I draw the arrow back, when I come to full draw. Yeah, I anchor, I look at the end of the arrow, and I'm looking for this bright bit here. That's okay, that's fine. That's what barebow archers do. But then I look to the target, the arrow disappears. I don't see the arrow. If I look at the arrow, the target disappears. So now, when I'm shooting, for instance, I'm at full draw there, and I'm looking at the target, I cannot see the arrow at all, which means I can't line the arrow up subconsciously or consciously. So I've come to the conclusion that for me, instinctive archery is going to be extremely difficult to get back into with any degree of competency and accuracy. I'm going to have to find some way to hybridize everything I've got. So what I've tried to do this afternoon is look at the point of the arrow, find somewhere in relation to the target that I can aim at and try and judge. See, the problem is when I'm outside, all I can see is greys and really strong colours. So at 10 yards I can see the gold of the target and I can see the white outer, but everything else is grey and everything around it, so I've got no points of reference. So it has actually been quite a fun, interesting day today, just trying to hit the bloody target. But if you watch the video from earlier on, I think I did quite well. So anyway, that's just another video of keeping you up to date on how my journey back into archery as a visually impaired archer is going. It's trials and tribulations, hell of a steep learning curve, but we're getting there, we're climbing the mountain. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed the video, hope you found it interesting. Don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to subscribe to the bow giveaway as well, where you can win one of these for yourself. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk again soon. Cheers, guys.